Hi, I'm Sydney and welcome back to my Flock and Squawk, and this week I'm going to be washing and repairing these two vintage Snoopy plushes. So we have this one who stands up. He's, kind of slightly looking to one side. I don't know if that is on purpose or not, but here he is actually not in bad condition at all. It's mostly just that he is dirty, especially when you look sort of like in his grooves. You can really see that the majority of his white fur has gone kind of dingy. So he doesn't really need many repairs, just sort of a wash. But this guy, this little like beanbag, probably crushed nutshell, maybe plastic, he's kind of like missing eyes. His nose is very much in need of repair, and he is extra dirty. So I'm going to be fixing these guys up over the course of this week, giving them plenty of time to air dry. And yeah, if you are interested in seeing a different set of plushies that I've fixed up, repaired, / mostly just washed, I did Meowth and Garfield, I believe about the same time last year. So I fixed up Angel Garfield, and Meowth got a nice little bath. So let's just get right into it and give these guys a bath and a little bit of mending. Here you can see the Snoopy has a little bit of damage, perhaps a little bit of mending, but you can see very clearly in his grooves just how dirty he is. I swear it does not pick up on camera as well as it does in person. I purchased him specifically because he needed some love, and love he shall get. This other little guy is definitely the dirtier of the two, but just look at these faces, they're so cute. And oh yeah, he has been thoroughly loved. What a fantastic life these stuffies have had, and I hope they have a brilliant rest of their lives. But yeah, just look at all that grime and the years of everything. So first off, I'm starting with my seam ripper, and I attempt to go in for this big boy, but it is actually quite hard to see some of the stitches and where to go. I know there's a seam here, but it's just difficult sometimes to get the seam ripper quite right, and I didn't want to accidentally put any new holes into him. So after a while of trying to figure it out, I just went on and did the easier of the two, which is this beanbag crushed nut guy. The seam right here, all of the fluff was kind of worn away from that sewn edge, which made it very clear and easy to see the actual stitching of him. So I just popped him open, and once the hole was big enough, I just emptied out all of his crushed nuts into a container before going back to the larger guy. Here you see that container and just how much crushed nut was actually in him. It was quite a bit, and more than I necessarily anticipated, but it was kind of interesting feeling him all empty. Like I suspected, this guy had some crushed walnut shells, it appears to be, as his filling. It seems that the only stuffing was just not even stuffing, just a little bit of behind to where his nose used to be. So, time for a wash for this guy. I still have to work on getting into this guy. He is holding up a little bit of a fight with his stitching. I finally was able to kind of gain some confidence and pick away at the stitching, and you can really see how dirty he actually is, or was at this point. Just look how white his fluff currently is in there versus the outside. He has definitely seen some things. So I just ripped out all of his stuffing, and I actually seam ripped up his head as well to be able to get that stuffing easier, and really just pulling it out of his limbs. The stitching detail on his outside, like his mouth and his little toe beans, were stitched on after he was fully sewn, so some of that stitching was holding in his fluff. But just working at it gently and kind of ripping it out, the stuffing gave way, not the stitching, luckily. So I was able to empty both of them, the big one of his stuffing, and then the little guy of all of his crushed nuts. So it's time to give them a bath, and I'm just going to do it in the sink so that way I can thoroughly suds them in some water and then thoroughly rinse. And yeah, then I will hang them to dry. I plan on air drying just because I don't want to accidentally harm their fiber by using heat or anything. So they'll just be hung up to dry. But that's, yeah, just some mild soap in the sink. So I just gave the Snoopies a bath, rinsed them out, and then I'm having them soak because the initial water was just so gross. And this water isn't looking much better other than it not being brown. It's more of like the soapy grunge color. So I'm just gonna let them soak in the sink for a bit, rinse them out, and then yeah, they'll hang to dry and I will see you in a few days. So it's been about 3-4 days and here they are. They are fully dry and looking a lot cleaner than they did. It's kind of hard to see fully on camera, but way, way cleaner. This little guy is still kind of dingy and I could probably scrub him more, but I think that he might be as clean as he gets without using like bleach. And I don't really want to bleach him, but here they are just drying. Let's take them off. And I got everything I need to repair them. So for his little nose, it looks like it was probably more of a piece of felt, but I have some embroidery floss here. And I am just going to use that to stitch on a new nose. And then for Snoopy, this guy, it's basically just restuffing, and I'm going to refill this guy. I know it's been kind of a chill, not really a lot going on in this video, but it's exactly the kind of thing I needed this week. It's been a busy one. So hopefully next video will be a little bit more entertaining or enjoyable, unless, like, if you're liking this, I hope you let me know, but time to fix these guys. So I have my embroidery floss, and then I have thimble pads, which are a little leather, essentially sticker that you can put somewhere on your finger to better, you know, push the needle through. It is essentially just a normal thimble, but it has the benefit of being stuck wherever on your finger instead of just like over your thumb or over the tip of your finger. You can like put it in here if you push through the needle like that, like I do. So I got that, and yeah, we are just going to give it a stitch and then refill them, which I'm just going to use the same stuffing as before because there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. It was just that their outsides were so dirty. So I'll stop rambling on, let's just get into it. So I just finished stitching on his new little nose, and it's not the best, but it has character, and he's worn anyway, so why not give him a little extra character? So I did that. I started with a different stitch, but ultimately I just ended up doing satin, because it doesn't matter what the back looks like, and the one I was trying was just not really working out in my favor. It was just not... The fluff that he does have was just... I couldn't get it. Let's just put it simply. I couldn't get the stitch to really work how I wanted, and I don't want to spend too much fussing with it. So let's refill him and his bigger brother with stuffing and stitch them up. To stitch them up, I will be using a ladder stitch, which is what I used last time, so maybe I'll be able to give a tiny bit better demonstration this time. But let's get filling. Using a funnel was the easiest way to get these crush nuts back in him, and then I just started on the ladder stitch. So you can see here that the stitch kind of makes this ladder shape, which is what gives it its name. But essentially you put the needle in one side and then across to make the ladder, then you move it slightly up on the same side that your stitch currently is, and then back over. It is a very secure stitch, and I know that Jim Henson has been known to use it, like his company. But yeah, you just pull it up along that same side and then back across. It's very difficult for me to kind of figure out how to best explain this without just drawing it out, but maybe someday I'll figure out how to illustrate it better. I highly recommend looking up other tutorials if you're interested in the ladder stitch. He's still a little crusty, but he's still cute. He's still a Snoopy. And here he is. He's all stitched up. He's nice and fat again. Something about removing all the stuffing and then restuffing them just really like fattens them back up again. But here he is. I did the ladder stitch in white thread this time, so it blends way better. But you still kind of like have to scritch and get the fur a little bit fluffed back up there. But yeah, he's really nice and firm. He definitely cleaned up way better. Still a line of white. He could definitely go longer as well. But like I said, I don't really want to hurt or alter them more. But here they both are. Goggins is having a heyday in the bedroom. He has a baby gate to make sure that he doesn't upset Karimu, our other cat. But here they both are. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and enjoying this video, and if you would like to see me fix up more old stuffies, just kind of give them a bath and everything, I hope you let me know, as well as liking this video. But yeah, I'm working on a 300 subscriber special, and I don't really know what exactly to do for it quite yet, but I'm thinking about it because thank you guys so much for 300 people hitting subscribe. And if you are new here, I hope you check out the rest of my channel, as well as maybe like last year's video of washing up Meowth and Garfield. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you flock and squawk again with me sometime. Bye! Are you in kitty prison? Yeah. I'll be with you in a second, buddy. Little kitty prison. Just a minute, buddy. Aww.